Okay, so this will be your color mixing video. We're going to use the plate here as our palette, and then I have two worksheets here I'll work on to show you what it is we're doing. So the colors you're going to receive will be red, blue, yellow, white, and my personal favorite color, black. Okay, so these are the colors that you'll get. You're also going to need water. So I've got them kind of placed around the outside of my paint palette. Your paint palette may not be a plate. It may be a square of paper or a magazine sheet. Either way, you want to put your colors near the edge so that you have the middle space to work with for color mixing. You can also mix the colors between here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the color wheel. All right, and I know it's kind of difficult to see everything that I'm doing. Here I'll try to set it up to where you can see the color wheel and my paint palette as much as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my primary colors and paint those in first. Okay, so this part of the color wheel is really easy, and what I'm doing with my paint here is just filling it in, trying to stay as closely as I can to that boundary. Okay, you don't need to worry too much about the center part of the wheel, this center circle with the center pie piece. There is a use for that, but we won't worry about that for this exercise. Okay, so now that I have yellow on my brush, I'm going to be smart about it, and I'm going to mix my other colors next to my yellow. Okay, so over here I've mixed a little bit of maybe orange. And if I feel like my paint is not going far enough, I just add a couple drops of water and the paint should spread much nicer. If it's too thick, you just add a little bit of water and it spreads just fine. Okay, so there's my orange, and I can take a little bit of yellow and add it to my orange to make a lighter kind of yellow orange. So it's a little bit darker than the yellow, but it's just a hair lighter. So you want to have that and then I'm going to add a little bit of red. And go ahead and do my red orange. Okay, so I have these yellow, orange, orange, so I should see a little bit more red coming in there before I actually get to painting with the red itself. And then I paint directly with the red, and it should be so I've got yellow, red, and everything in between, and I'm going to go ahead and move on to my blue. Okay, now on the paint palette you can see better where I'm mixing, so the yellow's not off the page here. So the blue is the darker of the two colors, so I'm going to take a little bit of my red and add it to my blue over here. I'm going to make that kind of violet color. Okay, and you notice that I'm using water quite frequently to thin out my paint. The more water you add, the thinner it's going to be, the more transparent the color will be, and the easier it's going to be to spread. So you'll notice that my paint, I have small amounts of paint, and I'm mixing even smaller amounts of those small amounts of paint. So you don't need to glob the paint on to the brush. These are small spaces we're filling in here. So I'm going to take my purple and add it to some red over here to make that kind of deeper red color that I'm looking for the red violet. Take a little bit of my blue and add it to my violet here to make my blue violet. It's kind of an indigo color. Okay, so now I'm going to make green. Green is made between blue and yellow. Okay, so I'll take just a teeny tiny bit of blue, mix it over here with more yellow. That's the green one. Okay, and then to make yellow green, I bring some more yellow into the green here, make it lighter. Okay, and then I'm going to take my same green and mix it in here with a little bit of blue. Kind of darken that up. Okay, so the color wheel should have differences between the green should be like a middle green, then the yellow green should be lighter, blue green should be darker. More blue here, more yellow here. Same thing with the violet and the orange, and then the red, blue, and the yellow are straight off of the palette. Okay, so that is the color wheel for you there. Okay, so I'll put that up for an example for you guys, and let me quickly show you how to do tints and shades. Tints and shades are really easy to do. You just take whatever color you want. I'll use red for this one over here. Let's move some red over here, and we'll do maybe the straight red in the middle, so I know what color I'm doing, and then I'm going to do 3 tints above because we're getting lighter, and 3 shades here. So I'll put tint here, shade here, and then I'll just put white because that's what I'm adding, black. Remember that when you're reading. So I'm going to add just a little bit of white to it. So it gets just a little bit lighter. I'm going to take that pink that I made. You can see that here. I'm going to take that pink that I made, and I'm going to just grab a little bit of that and move it over and add a little bit more white to that and make it even lighter. Okay, and then I'm going to take that same pink and I'm going to move it over to the other side over here and make it even lighter. So it's almost white completely, but it still has a little bit of pink to it. And then I'm going to do the same thing down here for my shade. I'm going to take some of my red and just add a teeny tiny black, or some black to it. And then I'm going to take that and add a little bit more black to it. Get a little bit darker still. And then my last color should be very black. Just a smidge of red in there. Okay, so it goes from light to dark all the way down. So I've got all the tints and shades that I'm going to need for this color, and I choose another color, do the same thing. I do green, orange, whatever color I choose. So don't pay attention to these top labels. Just do your tints and your shades. Use the center swatch. There are 7 spots, 7 boxes. Use the center box for whatever color it is that you want to start your swatch with, and then get lighter or darker based on that. Okay, so you add white going this way and black going this way. So the darkest should be down at the bottom, the lightest should be up at the top, and the true color should be in the center of the swatch. So you have tints and shades on the same thing. Okay, this one, it doesn't really matter if you stay in the lines. You notice I did not do very well with that myself. Same thing with this. You don't have to be perfect on your color wheel, but this week you should be able to get a color wheel and 2 swatches done for your tints and your shades.